along in our study of SOHCAHTOA, the goal of this lesson is to find the length of a missing side. That is what we're going to chase down. So it's basically 3 steps. You know, after making sure, again, your calculator is in degree mode, it cooks down to 3 steps. Step 1, you have to decide, do you want to use sine, cosine, or tangent? So the first step is a multiple choice question. And I'm going to throw that question out to you. Notice in this first example that's typed out for us, this textbook editor chose the sine of 70 degrees to help me solve for this missing side right here. Okay, so my question to you is, why did they choose sine? Why did they choose sine? Brianna?
Because they had the opposite and hypotenuse values.
Perfect. So if you're standing at the angle, they're giving you information, not a lot because it's a variable, they're giving you information about the opposite side and the hypotenuse. Opposite and hypotenuse, that's OH, that's O. And in SOHCAHTOA, O is attached to an S. So tells us we're using the sine ratio and it's opposite over hypotenuse. The other hot tip I'll give students is whenever you look at your triangle, if you're standing at your angle, just label the things that you know, right? So for instance, if I'm standing at 70 degrees, they're giving me the hypotenuse and they're giving me the opposite side. And then I just look at the first letters in each of those things. So I have opposite and hypotenuse, and that is definitely the definition of sine. So when you stack the ratio of those 2 sides, you get the sine ratio. We always do the sine of our angle theta, so 70 goes there. And then again, that's equal to the ratio of your opposite side over your hypotenuse, so that's why it's x over 7. Okay, next step, we do what we did in Algebra 3, right? You got to solve for x. So we'll add a little bit to this. In this case, to get x all by itself, you had to undo the division by 7. So you had to multiply both sides by 7. These 7s undo each other. That gets this x all by itself. And so what we're typing into our calculator is the sine of 70 degrees times 7. Or you could just do 7 times the sine of 70. And we get, for this side here, about 6.58 as the final answer. That's amazing because we know that 7 had to be the biggest side. So if we got a number bigger than 7, we know we messed up, right? You can't get something bigger than the hypotenuse as your answer. It's not going to work out. All right, let's try it again. Taking it from the top. Step 1, you got to decide sine, cosine, or tangent. So I'm going to pretend I'm standing at 65 degrees. When I look at it, I'm given not much, but information about the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is labeled x. And then 10 is all the way across the triangle from 65, so that's my opposite side. So opposite and hypotenuse, that's our sine ratio. So we're going to do the sine of 65 degrees. And this time around, that's equal to the ratio of 10 over x. Where did I put my calculator? Oh, there it is, right in front of my face. Okay, awesome. So yeah, we have the sine of 65 degrees equals 10 over x. I'm going to go ahead and put that over 1. Why I'm doing that is because right here we have a proportion. So we got the sine of 65 over 1 equals 10 over x. So I'm going to cross multiply. So I have x times the sine of 65. And that's equal to 10 times 1, which is 10. To get that x by itself, I would just divide both sides by the sine of 65. Notice I'm not doing decimals just yet. I save all the rounding till the very end. So what I get is, I'll type in my calculator here, I'm going to do x equals 10 divided by the sine of 65. In this case, I'm eyeballing it to make sure I get a number that's bigger than 10 because I'm solving for the hypotenuse. So in my calculator right now, I'm doing 10 divided by the sine of 65 degrees. I got about 11.03. Did we get rounding directions? No. So I can do whatever I want. Nearest hundredth it is, kids. So we got 11.03, which makes me pretty happy because it's bigger than 10. You know, it's the hypotenuse. It had to be the biggest side. All right. Couple more. Number 3, pretty familiar. We're standing at 24 degrees. They're giving me information about the opposite and the hypotenuse. So once again, this gives me the opportunity to solve for x when it's in the denominator. So we're saying the sine of 24 degrees equals our opposite over our hypotenuse. I'm going to put the sine of 24 over 1 and then cross multiply a little bit. So rewriting that proportion as a product of the means and the product of the extremes, we're going to do x times the sine of 24. So that's just multiplying those two things together. And then that's going to equal 4 times 1. 4 times 1, last time I checked, was 4. Like to get that x by itself, so I'm going to undo that multiplication. Divide both sides by the sine of 24 degrees. So it's so nice because I finally got x by itself. I now just have to type into my calculator 4 divided by the sine 24 degrees. And I'll get an approximate length for that hypotenuse there. Again, I'm hoping it's bigger than 4 because it's the hypotenuse. It's got to be the biggest side. So 4 divided by the sine of 24. Got about 9.83, so that's cool. Because that's bigger than 4. All right, last one, and then you'll get some independent practice with a little assignment. Oh, look at this. It's not sine. Oh, what is it? So this time around, if you're standing at 55, x isn't opposite. It's adjacent. What do you think, Bree?
Cos.
Yes, because we have the adjacent and the hypotenuse. So that's cosine. Is that what you were going to say, Royce? Yeah, nice. So cosine of 55 is equal to our adjacent over our hypotenuse. And this is nice because, I mean, it's just an extra step when the x is on the bottom. It's kind of annoying. But x is on the top. So literally this time around, all we have to do is multiply both sides by 20 to get that x isolated. So I'm going to just multiply both sides by 20. And let my calculator do the rest of the work. So in my calculator, I'm going to type in 20 times the cosine of 55. 20 times the cosine of 55. I got about 11.5, which is great, because if it were a number bigger than 20, I messed up. So we got 11.47 as that missing side there. If you have to find the other side, which I think you actually do in the independent practice, remember you can, option 1, set up another trig ratio. Option 2, you can do the Pythagorean theorem. Most often you're going to get a more precise answer if you just set up another trig ratio. You know, maybe treating this as like a, treat this like a y. And then you could do, 55 degrees. Y is going to be the opposite over hypotenuse. So if you had to solve for the other side, you could set up your sine ratio. So the sine of 55 equals y over 20. It's also a little quicker, I think, but I would take either or. And that is our lesson for today, guys. We're going to let you get ahead here and practice.